Hey everyone, Mike from Just Watch back with another Just Watch review talking about the Seiko SRP775 Turtle today. In this video, we're going to give you a little bit of rundown on the history of the Seiko Turtle and why it is such a popular watch with so many collectors and why you should own one. And also stay tuned until the end. We'll talk about how you can get an awesome deal on one. So everyone, thanks for joining in. Let's go get a closer look. All right, thanks. Looking at this Seiko Prospex Turtle today, that I thought was kind of a cool watch. I figured I'd give you guys a look at the box. I know I've gotten a couple of turtles over the last few months from overseas overseas retailers, Japan namely, and it's a different box set than what you get when you're buying it from an authorized US dealer. So this would be the authorized US dealer box. So you can check this out. This is the SRP775 on the steel bracelet. You can see on the top there, you get that nice kind of indent with the gold logo and also down on the bottom. And this is your more traditional Seiko box from what we've seen in the past too. And there is your SRP775 Turtle on the bracelet. Now this is a cool watch in that it kind of has a neat thing going on here. And if you're looking at it from here, it looks like your regular run-of-the-mill black dial, black bezel Seiko Turtle. But when you turn it and the light catches it just right, see if we can get that. Boom, there it is. Gold. Yeah, so what you're getting here is you're getting some gold on the bezel, and you're also getting a gold handset and also some gold application on the dial. You can see there on the signing on the dial and also going around the chapter ring a little bit. Yeah, there you go. There, you can catch it there. So really nice, kind of just a little touch. I think it gives the watch a little bit of class, makes it kind of nice. And let's take a look at the watch and dig into it. So very typical of Seiko Turtle. If you're new to Seiko and to turtles, or you're kind of wondering what all the talk is about with the Seiko Turtles, I'll give you a brief history here on it real quick. The Seiko Turtle was originally introduced in 1976 as the model number 6309. It has not changed as far as case dimensions and shape, what have you, from that original 1976 model 6309. The dial, the handset, and the complication are all still pretty much the same. Very little change there. It's only a couple of small minor changes on the case itself. Big difference being in the movement. The movement now has a 24 jewel 4R36 movement with quick set and hack, where the original, I believe, the original 6309 had a 17 jewel movement. It was not quick set, not hack, and it could not be hand wound, which is another nice feature on this bad boy. So as we said, it is a 45 millimeter case diameter on this watch, 13.3 millimeter thick, with the crown at the 4 o'clock position recessed down into the case, and also your day-date complication at the 3 o'clock, and your traditional Seiko Turtle handset. As I said, this watch, the Turtle was originally in production for 12 years, from 1976 to 1988, and it was just renewed in 2015. And since its reintroduction to the market, the watch has enjoyed enormous success. And I think a lot of that is just because it is such a good design, such a timeless classic. And I'll show you some of the things that's nice about this. Let's start out with the size. As I said, 45 diameter by 13.3. Sounds pretty huge, but in all actuality, lug to lug, it's pretty short. It's you can see it's not much bigger lug to lug than the diameter of the watch. It's about 47 millimeters lug to lug length. So it doesn't wear as big, across your wrist as your typical 45 millimeter diameter watch would. You can see that these lugs don't protrude far at all from the top and the bottom of the bezel. So the watch wears a little smaller, and it also has this, you can see how it's cut away there. It's like beveled on each side. That makes the watch, and also you have a nice graceful arc there on the lugs. So that makes the watch sit down onto your arm. It doesn't really stick up, and the contact surface area is a little bit smaller too. So you got a couple of things going there. You got the short height, the lug to lug height, and you also have the way that it's contoured underneath. and that makes the watch wear extremely well. It's very comfortable. It is, it has some weight to it. It's a tool watch, though. It's a stainless tool watch on a stainless bracelet. If you want to save some weight, you could take the bracelet off and run it on a NATO or on a silicone dive strap. Seiko makes some fantastic silicone dive straps, and there's a lot available on the aftermarket. So lots of good options there. Let's take a look at this dial a little closer too. So you can see you're getting Seiko's pillowy embossed Lumibrate index markers going around there with the, actually, let me spin this around a little bit. You're getting your typical Seiko sword in the stone. So there you go. You're getting your typical Seiko sword in the stone there at the 12 o'clock. And that does have a little bit of a gold around it too, which I think is a really nice touch. You have your Seiko logo at the 12 and your prospect symbol, automatic divers 200-meter down at the 6, and then your Japan movement down below the 6 o'clock. As we said earlier too, you have some gold there on the chapter ring. Everything on this watch is aligned perfectly too. I know a lot of people have complained about chapter ring alignment and bezel alignment on these watches. No issues here at all. Everything is really nicely aligned. So sorry about the smudging there. Let's talk a little bit about what you're getting here with the crown too at 4 o'clock. So it is, as we said, it is a quick set. It is a screw down crown. So 200-meter water resistant. The old Turtle, that is one other difference to the original 6309 Turtle, was 150-meter water resistant. So they did increase the water resistance on this watch by 50 meters, which is great. 200 meters, I think, is very strong water resistant. So nice screw down crown. It is unsigned. And you can see the way that they treat the case there. So it's really nicely contoured into the case. And then you have that nice screw down case back, and you can see the traditional Seiko Tsunami Wave. There it is right there with your Seiko signing, air diver, 200-meter, that type of thing. So getting back to the crown here, nice unscrew right there. And then that pops out. There's a very nice solid click when you get out. So getting back to the crown here. And getting back to the crown here. So some really nice threads securing that crown firmly in place with a really nice solid pop. You definitely know that you're all the way out when you get there. And then once you're out, you can see that the watch can free spin, and you can also wind the watch in this position. So there's your first position. Your second position, actually I came out all the way. Your second position is where you change your day going clockwise and your date going counterclockwise. And you'll notice that your day is black, except for Saturday you have blue, and Sunday you have red. And then there's your black for Monday through Friday. So there's your day date complication in that second position, and all the way out third position is where you're going to see the hack, that second hand stops, and then you can set your time. So it is nice. You can quickly set the day and the date. You can see it come right around at midnight, which is nice. And the day pops over closer to 2 a.m., but no big deal there at all. Let's get this around about 10 a.m. so you can see everything nicely positioned there. And then we come back in, the watch starts again. Really nice solid click both ways, both going in and out, and then catching the thread back down. Very nice. No problem at all. Very solid feel. Nothing ever feels like it wants to cross thread. There's no wobble in the crown at all. And also when you're setting that time, I forgot to mention, there really isn't any slop in the kind of movement between the crown and the minute hand, which is nice too. So really nice, solid, very nice machine work done by Seiko on this too. And then our bezel, it's really nice. It's 120 clicker, and this one definitely better than some of the other turtles that we have worked with over the last few months. It's right up there with the limited edition black turtle, with the one I called a Ninja Turtle. You can see the review that we did on that about a month and a half ago, but really nice. It's the clicks are just solid enough as to feel, no question about engagement, but they're not too heavy. And then there's no like bearing friction or friction from from any seals or anything like that going around. The only friction you're really feeling is just that, just nice feeling. It definitely feels like it's rotating on bearings instead of having any stickiness to it. A really nice bezel, definitely one of the better uh, turtle bezels that I've felt, which I think is fitting, with a limited edition with the gold and everything. I think it's nice that they do that. Although I should say that Seiko should kind of nail this consistency on all of their turtles. I think that would be really nice if they could just kind of get that on lockdown, just because this is such a nice feeling bezel right there. The grip on this too is very nice. You can see it's your traditional Seiko 2-row knurling, kind of squared off. Really nice and easy to grip, and definitely appreciate the fact that they thought to include the drilled lug holes on this too. So it's very easy to change out if you want to take off the strap or the bracelet and change over to a strap, or if you want to run it as a strap monster or what have you. Speaking of the bracelet you're getting on this watch is an oyster style bracelet. It is a pin and collar oyster style bracelet with a nice double locking crown. So you have your Seiko signature there on the lock. You flip that up, and then you have you can tell I haven't even done anything with this yet, a twin trigger deployment to open it up with your stamped stainless steel pieces, and that's being held by plastic, which I don't want to remove yet. So I wanted to just keep that nice. And then, of course, you have your fine adjustment. You have 4-position fine adjustment there. There is no quick lock on this, but it is, I don't think that's a huge deal. I don't think that's a deal breaker at all for a watch at this price point. You can't have everything there. Really nice as far as the way that everything integrates here underneath too. You can see there's no big gap there or here. So nice job, Seiko, on this bracelet. Definitely much better than what you're seeing on the SARB 35 and 33, and also the Seri 57 that we reviewed a couple of reviews ago. So no issues there. Let's give you a wrist shot on this bad boy too, just so you can see what that looks like on the wrist. And before we do that, let's do a wrist check. Today's wrist check is fun one today. So this is a Rolex Oyster Perpetual. This is a brand new size from Rolex and a 39 millimeter. So very happy with this watch. I think it's a perfect size for this. I like it a lot better than the traditional 36, and that is the rhodium colored dial with just that little bit of blue accent going around. Really nice. It's a very uncomplicated dial from Rolex. You can see it's very minimal signing, which I like, and no Cyclops, no date. So just the basics on the watch, just a nice 3-hand movement. So we'll get a nice review up on this one very soon. So stay tuned for that as well. So there's our wrist on the day, and then, so there we go. It's a very typical turtle on the wrist. You can see how nice that sits down low, doesn't stick up at all off the wrist, and it's very comfortable as far as just your overall wear on the wrist. And I'll see if I can get some other, yeah, there you go. There's a good angle where you can really see how nicely that sits down. It really doesn't sit up very high at all, which I like. So nice. And I really like the touch of gold on there too. I think it gives the watch a little bit of versatility if you're going to wear it out. And I also think that it creates some really interesting possibilities as to how you're going to match this up with different straps. I think there's going to be some really nice looking strap options with this watch too. Some possibilities. So that's it for this watch. Like I said, it's I think Seiko has another winner here with the SRP775. As we said, 4R36 stainless steel, Harlex crystal, a great bezel. It's going to be a rock solid movement, super reliable, a really nice popular size at the 45 millimeter case, and just everything is good. So nice job, Seiko, on this SRP 775. And if you guys want to score one of these, if you want to get a great deal on one of these, check out my friends over at mimosjewelry.com. They are out of Long Beach, California, and Mimos has a deal going right now where if you order a watch from their website that's in stock and use the code Mike35, and that would include this watch, If the watch retails on his site for less than $795 and you use that Mike35 discount code, Mimo will give you 35% off that watch. And he has a fantastic e-com platform as far as your delivery confirmation, and every step of the way you're getting notified automatically. So it's really nice. You can track that package right to your doorstep with the setup that he uses. So good stuff there. So do check that out. I will provide a link to Mimo in the description below. And also, if you want to check out some of our other turtle reviews that we have done, I will give you some links to our comparison that we did on the SRP779, as well as the Seiko Potty Turtle that we just did. I have to say, this one actually has a better bezel action than the Potty Turtle that we did about a month ago, or maybe a little bit less than a month ago. So anyway, that's it for the SRP775. We'll come back with more on this watch in the future after we've worn it for a little bit and give you guys a better, longer initial impression on this one, or a longer than initial impression on this one. And that's it for now, everyone. Thank you again for tuning in, for the likes, the thumbs up, the commentary below. If you like our content, please do subscribe, and we appreciate having you following along. So everyone, that is it for this episode. Thank you again for tuning in, and we will see you next time.